Hello everyone, good evening. So, today we'll be taking up the next session. So, that is your Geography 2 for your prelims, target prelims 2024. The questions that we saw yesterday were quite important from your physical geography perspective. So, now today also we'll be taking a few physical geography questions as well as some of your environment geography questions. So let us start with the first question, and again here first question is regarding your earthquake. So in this regard, so let us start the session. So consider the following statement. So statement 1. So in a seismograph, P waves are recorded earlier than the S waves. Is it true? In the sense, the statement says that P waves is recorded earlier than S waves. So the crux is that P waves moves faster compared to S waves. Is it true? Does the P waves move faster to your S waves? What do you think? Yes, P waves is faster compared to your S waves. So statement 1 is right. So if you see the graph over here, so this blue one is your P waves. So this is, I'll change the ink. So just a second. Yeah. So this blue one is your P waves and this red one is your say S waves. So if you see here, so in order to travel say 8,000 kilometer, your P wave takes say 10 minutes, but whereas your S waves takes almost 20 minutes. So your P waves travel faster compared to your S waves. So again here in a seismograph, P waves are recorded earlier. Why it's recorded earlier? Because it travels quicker. So that's the reason. So okay, so first one is done. Okay, so statement 1 is right. So what about your statement 2? So statement 2, in P waves, the individual particles vibrate to and fro. The individual particles vibrate to and fro in the direction of the wave propagation, whereas in S waves the particle vibrate up and down. Vibrate up and down at the right angle to the direction of the wave propagation. So just pause for a second and just analyze this statement. Is it right, wrong? What do you think? So this statement is absolutely right. That is, your P waves moves to and fro in the direction in which the wave travels, whereas your S waves propagates up and down. S wave propagates up and down. So again here, if you see in this direction, in this diagram, your S waves moves up and down. So see here, this is the direction. This is the direction of propagation. If this is the direction of propagation, your S wave keeps moves up and down, whereas your P waves, it compresses, expands. So as a reason, so this statement is right. So in the sense, the second statement is also right. If both the statements are right, so what has to be the answer? The answer has to be C over here. Fine. So the answer is C. Okay. So now we'll go to the next question. So the next question is on the basis of current affairs. So global warming, acidification, etc. So in the acidification of ocean. So in this regard, we'll be taking up this question. So the acidification of ocean is increasing. So that's a statement. Why is this phenomena a cause of concern? So yeah, this is true. That is, acidification is increasing, but why is this a cause of concern? So that's a question. So again, this is a PYQ in your geography. So the growth and survival of calcareous phytoplanktons will be adversely affected. Will acidification affect the phytoplanktons? By the way, it's your homework. What is the pH of ocean water? Whether it is on the acid side or it's on the basic side. That is, whether it's alkaline or whether it's a basic. Alkaline in the sense pH more than 7. So what do you think? So it's homework. Just see, analyze this one. So the growth and survival of calcareous phytoplanktons will be adversely affected. So is it right, wrong? Yes. So I'll just reveal the answer. So your ocean, the pH level of ocean is somewhere around 8. So 8.1. So it is alkaline. So when due to acidification, what happens? These phytoplanktons are these tiny organisms that float over the ocean. So the counterpart of phytoplankton is plants and trees. On land, on continent, we have plants and trees. In your sea, ocean, lake, etc., we have this tiny phytoplankton, algae. The example is algae. So algae will not survive in acidic environment. So as when there is acidification of ocean, so algae or say phytoplanktons will not survive. That is, survival's calcareous phytoplanktons will be adversely affected. So this statement is absolutely right. Okay, so statement 1 is right. So I'll remove B. Now let's go to the next statement. The growth and survival of the coral reefs will be adversely affected. Is it true? Will the growth and survival of the coral reef will get adversely affected because of ocean acidification? Yes, as I told yesterday in the previous class, that is, your coral reefs or the coral polyps is the most sensitive animal. Even 1 degree Celsius here and there, there's a coral polyps dies. Even acidification of increase in acidification, the coral reefs dies. So it's the most sensitive organism. That is, the coral polyp is a sensitive organism. The growth and survival of coral reefs will be adversely affected. So this is absolutely true. So yeah, this is absolutely true. So statement 2 is right. So what about your statement? If statement 2 is right, which one will go? So which option will go? Yeah, C will go. Okay. Okay, now we'll see the third statement by default it's right. See here, third statement by default it's right, but however we'll see to this. Survival of some animals that have phytoplankton larvae will be adversely affected. Yes. So again here, statement 1 and statement 3 more or less the same thing only. So obviously statement 3 is right. What about statement 4? The cloud seeding and formation of clouds will be adversely affected. What is the relation between acidification of ocean and cloud seeding? It's something like this. Acidification of ocean hampers your Netflix. So something like that. There's no relation, right? This is chalk and cheese. That is your acidification and acidification of ocean and your cloud seeding. There's no relation between these two things. So statement 4 is absolutely wrong. So the answer has to be A is the answer. Fine. Okay. So this is your acidification. Again here, how acidification is increasing in the recent times. So in the currently there is global warming. So global warming, what's happening? What are we doing? What are humans doing? We are releasing carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. And what is this carbon dioxide? So when carbon dioxide mixes with atmospheric water, so what is the equation? Again, it's an homework. Okay, carbon dioxide mixes with water. So what do you get? So when carbon dioxide mixes with water, what do you get? You get carbonic acid. So currently why there is acidification of ocean is that we are emitting a lot of carbon dioxide. Where is this carbon dioxide going? It is going into the ocean. When this carbon dioxide mixes with your water in the ocean, so what happens? Carbonic acid. So the carbonic acid forms in the ocean. So because of that, there is acidification of ocean. So okay. So this is acidification of ocean, and if there is acidification of ocean, it is going to affect your coral reefs, it is going to affect the phytoplanktons, even fishes, everything, because all these organisms for millions of years, they have survived in a pH of 8 or 8.1, 8.2, that is an alkaline environment. And now all of a sudden you put this coral reef or say for phytoplanktons in an acidic environment, how will it survive? It cannot survive, right? So the answer is, yeah, we got the answer. So answer is A. A is the answer. Fine. Chalo, then we'll go to the next question. So consider the following statement about your ITCZ, that is Intertropical Convergence Zone. So intertropical, again here, all these things are like very crucial that you should know. So there's no alternative. You have to know all these aspects. Fine. So consider the following statement about ITCZ. ITCZ is a belt of low pressure that circles Earth near the equator. Is it true? ITCZ is a belt of low pressure that circles the Earth near the equator. So what is ITCZ, by the way? What is ITCZ? Intertropical Convergence Zone. It is a low pressure belt. ITCZ is a low pressure belt. If you see over here, so this is your the planetary wind model. So again here, if you see here, yeah. So this, what happens near the equator, the wind rises up. So near the equator, the wind rises up. So this is your tricellular model. So if you don't know this, please go and read all this cellular, yeah, tricellular, yeah, cellular model, tricellular model. So again here, if you don't know this, please go and read all this thing, that is what is feral cell, what is Hadley cell, what is polar cell. These are like very basics that you should know this. So what happens near the equator, there is solar insolation, the sun's insolation, the solar insolation is very high over here. If the solar insolation is very high, what happens? The land heats up. If the land heats up, the air rises up. If the air rises up, see here, if the air rises up, what would happen? It would create low pressure zone. This low pressure zone is nothing but your ITCZ. See, it's something like this. So earlier there were, let us assume that this is yeah, let us, yeah, I think it's going to disturb here, so we'll consider this one. This is a air packet, mass of air mass, which is a 10 kg. So this is over the land. Now due to solar insolation, so what happens? The land will get heated up. When the land gets heated up, so due to convection, this air mass will also get heated up. Of this air mass, earlier there was 10 kg exerted on this land. Now this land heats up. So of this 10 kg, let us assume that say 4 kg rises up. Due to convection, when I heat the air, what happens? The air becomes light and the air rises up. So of this 10 kg air, now the 4 kg air started rising up. Now how many kg air is remaining over here? 6 kg. Earlier there was 10 kg of air pressure on the land. Now there is 6 kg of air pressure on the land. So what happened? Low pressure. Earlier we had 10 kg. Now we have 6 kg. So that is nothing but your low pressure. So ITCZ forms along the equator because of the solar insolation, because high solar insolation along the equator. So the air rises up. If the air rises up, automatically we get this low pressure zone. So and ITCZ along the equator belt. So we have this low pressure zone. So that is your ITCZ. So statement 1 is absolutely right. So it's a belt of low pressure that circles the earth near the equator. So 100% right. So ठीक है, we'll go to the next one. Yeah, if statement 1 is right, so I'll remove 2, मतलब B, option B. Due to the high temperature and convection, ITCZ is a region of frequent thunderstorm and heavy rainfall. So what do you think? So is there any heavy rainfall near ITCZ? Is it true, right, wrong? So at what condition you get rainfall? In which condition you get rainfall? Whenever the air ascends, we automatically get rainfall. That's the basic thing that you should know. When the air ascends, we get rainfall. So what is happening near ITCZ? The air is rising up. So the air is rising up. If the air is rising up, what happens? So automatically there is condensation. If the air is rising up, there is condensation. So because of condensation, we get rainfall. So statement 2 is also absolutely right. So statement 2 is right. So the answer we can remove C. So what about the statement number 3? ITCZ remains stationary throughout the year. Is it true? Does ITCZ remain stationary? No, yeah. ITCZ tracks the movement of your sun. So ITCZ keeps moving. So again here, so this is, if you see this diagram, so this is in July. That's in your monsoon season. Now ITCZ currently somewhere around May, the ITCZ would be somewhere in over Madhya Pradesh belt. So somewhere around Madhya Pradesh, UP belt. So somewhere in that region. So this is the current ITCZ. But in the winter times, ITCZ goes like this. So ITCZ keeps traveling. So ITCZ is never stationary. So statement number 3 is wrong. So statement number 3 is wrong. D will go. The answer is A. So A is the answer. Chalo, we'll go to the next one. So consider the following statement about the factors affecting Indian monsoon rainfall. And again, from UPSC perspective, monsoon, that is your monsoon rainfall is very, very crucial from UPSC perspective. Many questions have been asked on monsoon. Okay, consider the following statement about the factors affecting Indian monsoon rainfall. So statement number 1, okay, that is the intensity of southwest monsoon is directly proportional to temperature difference between Indian landmass and Indian Ocean. Pause it analyze. If you solve this, it shows that you are like super good in monsoon topic. So pause it, solve it, and then you can continue the video. So do this. That is, the intensity of southwest monsoon is directly proportional to the temperature difference between Indian landmass and Indian Ocean. What do you think? Is it right? That is the crux of monsoon. How monsoon occurs in India. So the entire philosophy of monsoon, or say the entire reason why monsoon occurs, is that temperature difference. The land, that is your Indian land, heats up quickly. Because land has high specific heat. So in summer, your land heats up quickly compared to your water. Say in summer, keep water and keep one stone in the terrace. The stone will get heated up quickly compared to the water. So the temperature increase in water will be marginal compared to the temperature increase on the stone or rock. So in summer, that is the land becomes warmer quickly. So it quickly heats up. So what happens? So if it quickly heats up, the air will rise up. So if the air rises up, there is a low pressure that is created. Please see here, over India, there is a low pressure that is created because Indian land heats up quickly compared to your Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal. So what happens? There is a high pressure over here compared to this region. So this region has high pressure. That is, your Arabian Sea has high pressure. So as a reason, what happens? The moist wind from Arabian Sea moves towards India. So the moist wind from Arabian Sea moves towards India. Why it moves towards India? Because there is a low pressure. If the low pressure intensity is more, if the low pressure is very high, so if the low pressure intensity is more, so then what would happen? More air from Arabian Sea would flow into the India. So as a reason, what would happen? The intensity of monsoon will increase. So this statement is right. So statement 1 is right. So yeah. So what about your statement 2? Statement 2, the Himalayan mountains don't play a role in influencing the distribution of monsoon rainfall. Does Himalaya have any role in monsoon rainfall? So what do you think? It's a mighty Himalaya. Does it not have any role in Indian monsoon? What do you think? It has. In fact, it is your Himalayas that's going to block the monsoon wind crossing to Tibet. So the monsoon wind that comes from south, see here, the monsoon wind that is, I'll change the ink just a second. So the monsoon wind that comes from your Arabian Sea and your Bay of Bengal goes to the central Indian region. So it is something like this. Yeah, it goes to the central Indian region. So again here, why it is not going to Tibet? Why it is not crossing over to Tibet? This is your Tibet. So this is your Tibet. This is Himalaya. Why it is not crossing over to Tibet? Why it is not going towards complete north? Because because your Himalayas is blocking the monsoon wind. Since it is blocking the monsoon wind, so it creates rain. It causes rainfall in the Himalayan region. So again here, so statement 2 is absolutely wrong. That is, the Himalayan mountains do not play a role in influencing the distribution of monsoon rainfall. This is absolutely wrong. Himalayan mountain does play an important role. It blocks the monsoon wind entering into the Tibet region. So again here, statement 2 is absolutely wrong. So statement 1 is right. So ठीक है, B will go. Statement 2 is absolutely wrong. If statement 2 is absolutely wrong, which one will go? Both C and D will go, right? Both C and D will go if statement 2 is wrong. So yeah, we already got the answer, but ठीक है. No, if statement 2 is wrong, which one will go? A will go and D will go. Sorry, A will go. If statement 2 is wrong, A will go and D will go. Statement 1 is right, so B will go. So the answer is C. Anyways, we'll see the third statement, that is that the presence of strong western disturbance can lead to increased rainfall in the northern parts of India during winter months. So what do you think? So western disturbance, yesterday we saw a few questions on western disturbance also. The presence of western disturbance, will it increase the rainfall in the northern parts of India during winter months? Yes, true. That's why your western disturbance is known as the rainfall, the wind that brings you winter rainfall. So statement 3 is right. So anyways, we got the answer, but yeah. So we'll go to the next topic. So the next question is that ocean currents are primarily driven by wind, water density, and Earth's rotation. Is it true? Yes, the main factor for your ocean current is wind. That is a wind pressure. The wind pushes the ocean current. So this is one thing. If you see here, the wind pushes the ocean current. So ocean water. So that leads to your surface current. So statement ocean current are primarily driven by wind and water density. So water density with respect to your temperature and with respect to your salinity. So when the salinity changes, when the temperature changes, your water density changes. So water density, how does your water density help in the movement of ocean current? When the water density is high, what happens? The water goes underneath, and the less dense water comes over. So it's something like this. This is high density water. This is what happens to the high density water. It seeps in. So yeah, I'll write it here. This is your high density water. This high density water, it subsides, and again your low density water, it rises up. Which is the high density water? Which is high density water? The water which is cool is high density. The cool water will subside, or the water which has high salinity content, that is high density. So the water that is cool, or the water that has high salinity content, that will subside, or say that will go down, that will descend. So we call it as a descent. That will descend into the deeper parts of your ocean. And the water that is low in density, see the low in density in the sense the warm water, or say the water that has less salinity content. So those are your low density water. That will again rise up, that will ascend. So that will lead to your ocean current. You should again here another homework. Please learn about thermohaline current. So you just watch, say pause this video and watch 5 or 10 minutes video on thermohaline current. So that's very crucial. You should have a fair idea on what is thermohaline current. Okay, so statement 1 is right. So what about your statement 2? Statement 2 is the Gulf Stream is a cold ocean current that flows. Statement 1 is right. Okay, so if statement 1 is right, I'll remove C. So the Gulf Stream is a cold ocean current that flows from Gulf of Mexico to the North Atlantic. Gulf Stream, is it a cold current or warm current? What do you think? Gulf Stream is a warm current. So yeah, Gulf Stream is a warm current. It's not a cold current. So you see here, this is your Gulf Stream. The north in Atlantic Ocean, the northern equatorial current goes towards your Mexico and then New York. So this region. So this is your warm current. No, not your cold current as such. So statement 2 is wrong. If statement 2 is wrong, we already get the answer. But we'll see the third statement. Ocean current plays a significant role in regulating the global climate by redistributing heat. Is it true? Yes, so that's what your thermohaline current does. The heat from your equator is taken to your polar region, and the cold water comes back to your equatorial region. So if you see here, just see this thing. So see this GIF, that is the heat from your equatorial current. Equator goes towards your pole, and the cold water comes back to your equator region. So that is known as your thermohaline current. So have a good idea regarding thermohaline current. Fine. So now we'll go to the next topic. So that is your tsunami. So chalo then, what is tsunami? So consider the following statement about tsunamis. So tsunamis are primarily caused by underwater earthquake and can travel along the distance across the ocean with minimal loss of energy. Is it true? Does tsunami is caused by underwater earthquake, or it's primarily caused by underwater earthquake? Yes, this is absolutely true. That is, over 90% of the tsunami is caused by underwater earthquake. But what is so special with underwater earthquake? How underwater earthquake causes a tsunami? Just think. Does every underwater earthquake cause a tsunami? What do you think? Does every, and see, earthquake means a high intensity earthquake, low intensity earthquake are also there. Even a mild tremors is also earthquake. Even a massive tremor is also called as earthquake. Does every earthquake, undersea earthquake cause a tsunami? So what do you think? No, not every earthquake. So the earthquake. So what is the reason why we have tsunami waves? The reason is that when we have a massive displacement of ocean water or sea water, so that will lead to formation of tsunami waves. There has to be massive displacement of water. See here, when we have earthquake, what happens? There's a massive displacement of water. The water above here, the huge amount of water gets displaced in few seconds. So this, when huge amount of water gets displaced in few seconds, that leads to the formation of tsunami waves. So whatever be the agent that leads to the huge amount of displacement of water will cause tsunami, not just your undersea earthquake. Just know this fact. It is not that only undersea earthquake causes tsunami. Whenever there is a huge displacement of water, it causes tsunami. You drop one nuclear bomb there, it will cause huge displacement of water, then you will have tsunami also. So let there be one asteroid comes and strikes in this ocean or sea, so there will be a huge displacement of water, so again will have tsunami. So again here this is true, but however over 90% of your earthquake is caused, over 90% of your tsunami waves are caused by undersea earthquakes. So the statement is right. So statement 1 is right, so we'll remove B. So we'll go to the next one. Oceanic eruption and underwater landslides can also trigger tsunamis, although these are less frequent than earthquake induced. Yeah, as I told earlier, any agent that is going to lead to that's going to cause massive displacement of water will cause tsunamis. So whenever there's a massive volcanic eruption under the sea, massive volcanic eruption under the sea, we will have tsunami waves. Or say whenever there's a underwater earthquake, so does underwater landslides. Do we have underwater landslides? Where do we have underwater landslides? So you will study something called as a ridges, right? Mid-oceanic ridges, or the ridges are the mountain ranges under the sea. So that is your ridges. So oceanic ridges. So in this oceanic ridges, it's like a mountain. So we have landslides in this ridges. So if the landslide is big enough to displace huge amount of water, then we'll have tsunamis. So this statement is also right. So statement 2 is right. So we'll remove C. So third statement is that is your tsunami waves increases in height as they approach shallow coastal waters. Does tsunami waves increases in height, in a sense the amplitude? Does the amplitude of tsunami wave increases as it approaches the shallow coastal waters? Yes, because when tsunami waves are originated, the wavelength is big. When it comes closer to the coast, the wavelength cannot go beyond this, because this is the end, this is the coast. As consider this part is water, this part is land. So when the wavelength, when it comes to the coast, the wavelength cannot move further. So what happens? There's a compression. So as a reason, what happens? The waves, so the amplitude of the wave increases. So statement number 3 is also right. So the answer is D. So D is the answer. Chalo. So we'll go to the next one. So hydrological cycle. So the hydrological cycle describes, the next question is regarding the hydrological cycle. Hydrological cycle describes the continuous movement of water on, above and below the surface of the earth. So what is hydrological cycle? From UPSC perspective, your biogeochemical cycle is like very important from your prelims perspective as well as your mains perspective. So hydrological cycle describes the continuous movement of water on, above and below the surface of earth. Is it true? That is the meaning of hydrological cycle. So hydrological cycle is it's part of your biogeochemical cycle. Circulation of water between your biotic component and abiotic component, that is your hydrological hydrological cycle, and within your abiotic component, that is the water moves from your land atmosphere and against under the earth surface. So that is your hydrological cycle. If you see this image over here, you will get a better clarity. So this is your hydrological cycle. So hydrological cycle means the water, that is continuous movement of water on, above and below. So it is on the this thing, that is on the surface, this is above the surface, this is below the surface. So when the water moves on the surface, above the surface, on the surface and below the surface, we will call it as a hydrological cycle. When we track this movement, it's called as a hydrological cycle. So statement 1 is right. So what about the next one? That is the transpiration is the process by which water is absorbed by the plants and released into the atmosphere from plant leaves or say tree leaves. What do you think? Is it true? Transpiration is a process where the plants absorb water from the roots and then leave it in the atmosphere. Is it true? Is that the meaning of transpiration? Yes, that's the meaning of transpiration. The another word of transpiration is also known as evapotranspiration. If you see here in this image, the plants will take the water from the roots and then it will via leaves, it will leave it into the atmosphere. So this mechanism is called as your transpiration. So this mechanism is called as transpiration. So your statement number 2 is also right. So what about your statement number 3? Statement number 3, the groundwater contributes to the hydrological cycle through the process of sublimation. Is it true? Groundwater contributes to the hydrological cycle through the process of sublimation. What is sublimation, by the way? What is sublimation? Sublimation means when you skip one state, so one state, that we call it as a sublimation. That is your ice, solid, liquid, gas. That is your solid, liquid, gas. So from ice you convert to gas, that is called as your sublimation. This is your solid, liquid, gas. When any one state of the matter is escaped, so you call it as a sublimation. When from solid you directly go to gas, we call it as sublimation. But you take an ice cube. You take an ice cube and keep it. The ice cube, keep it on the stove. Okay, keep it on the stove. So what would happen? The ice cube is solid. First it will become liquid and then it will turn into gaseous because of evaporation. But whereas you take camphor, right? In Hindi we call it as karpur, or say in Kannada we call it as karpura. So this camphor, for God we use it for praying, right? The camphor. So when you burn, camphor is solid. When you burn it, it doesn't turn into liquid. It directly turns into gaseous. So that is called as a sublimation. So groundwater contributes to hydrological cycle through the process known as sublimation. No, the statement is absolutely wrong. That is through infiltration. So statement 3 is wrong. So the answer is A is the answer. So through infiltration. So the groundwater, that is through infiltration, that is the surface water through infiltration goes into the groundwater. So yeah, not through sublimation. Okay, so the next one is, consider the following statement about land breeze and sea breeze. Okay, so the land breeze blow from cooler land towards the warmer sea during daytime. Is it true? During daytime, just analyze, pause it and analyze. The land breeze blows from cooler land towards warmer sea during daytime. During daytime, which one is cooler? Land is cooler or water is cooler? The specific heat of land is high. In the sense, the land becomes hotter quickly compared to your water. So during daytime, your land becomes warmer, or say it becomes hotter compared to your water or sea. So the statement is absolutely wrong, right? The land breeze blows from cooler land towards the warmer sea. So no. See, again here in geography, the nomenclature for wind is, whenever any word is assigned, so that is the origin point. Land breeze means the wind that is going from land towards any other thing, towards sea, that is the land breeze. Sea breeze means the wind that is coming from sea towards your land. westerlies, the wind that is coming from west side. Easterlies, the wind that is coming from eastern side. So whatever the word that is assigned, so that is the origin point. Land breeze means the origin point is land, the wind that comes from the land. So this is a tip you can understand, you can memorize this. So land breeze blows from cooler land towards the warmer sea during the daytime. No, the statement is absolutely wrong. During daytime, what happens? So this is your ocean or say sea is cooler, so this land is warmer. If the land is warmer, the air will rise up, right? If the surface is hot, the air will rise up. If the air rises up, there will be some vacant, so there will be some low pressure that will be created, because the air has ascended. So if the air has ascended, there will be some vacancy, there will be some gap that will be created. In that gap, so this wind that is from the sea would go and fill that. So this is known as your sea breeze. Sea breeze occurs during your daytime, not during your night time. Fine. So statement 1 is wrong. So statement 1 is wrong. What about your statement number 2? That is, sea breeze originates from the cooler sea and blows towards a warmer land during during sea breeze originates from cooler sea. Sea breeze originates from cooler sea and blows towards a warmer land during night. Yes, this is absolutely right. So during night, so what happens? The sea breeze originates from the cooler sea and blows towards the warmer land during night. No, it's exactly opposite. Sea breeze originates from the cooler sea and blows towards a warmer land. No, this statement is also wrong. So sea breeze in the night, your land is much more cooler. So in the night, what happens? The land breeze occurs. In the daytime, that is your sea breeze occurs. So this statement is wrong. So if you see here, in the daytime we have sea breeze, in the night time we have land breeze, because the specific heat of land is very high. In the morning the land heats up quickly, in the evening or say in the night the land cools quickly. So as a reason, the land becomes cooler, way more cooler than the ocean in the night, and in the morning the land becomes warmer, way more hotter compared to the ocean in the morning. So that is in the daytime. So this statement is, I think there's a typo over here. So this has to be day. So this has to be day. So yeah, there's a typo. So the sea breeze originates from the cooler sea and blows towards a warmer land during daytime. Yeah, this is right. So if we consider this is day, so the statement is right. Okay. So land and sea breeze are local phenomena experienced only along the coastlines and minimal impact on the regional weather pattern. Yeah, true. This land breeze, say this cool sea breeze will not have impact deep inside the coastal area. Maximum 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer of cool breeze. That's it. So beyond that, it has no much impact. So if we consider daytime over here, statement number 2 is right. This is also right. So answer is B is the answer over here. Okay. So we'll take up the next question. Consider the following statement about the local winds. Lu is hot and dry wind blowing from Thar desert towards Indo-Gangetic plain during the summer season. So currently, if you are in if you are in northern plain, mainly near along Delhi, Lucknow, this region, you would be facing Lu. So this is the period where Lu occurs. So Lu is a hot local wind. So Lu is a hot and dry wind that blows from Thar desert towards the Indo-Gangetic plains during summer months. Yeah, this statement is absolutely right. So yeah, so this is your Rajasthan. From Rajasthan, the low wind blows. So yeah, towards your Delhi, Lucknow, so that northern belt. So yeah, so this statement is right. Okay, fine. So the next one is Chinook. Chinook is a warm, dry wind. So first statement is right. So first one is right. So then we'll remove option B. Chinook wind, a warm, dry wind that bring rapid temperature rise on the eastern slope of Rocky Mountain. Is it true? So again here, If you haven't memorized all the important local winds, hot wind, cold winds, you have to memorize it. What is Fawn, what is Chinook, all this local winds you have to memorize. If you see here, by the way, where is Rocky Mountains? This is your Rocky Mountains. In North America, this is your Rocky Mountains. So on the eastern side, this is your western side, this is your eastern side. On the eastern side, the air descends. What do you call a descending air as? What do you call descending air? So the air that is descending, we call it as katabatic wind. Katabatic wind. So the air that is rising, anabatic wind. So if the in a valley, if the air that is rising, we call it as anabatic wind. If in the valley the air that is sinking, we call it as a katabatic wind. So this Chinook is a katabatic wind. So and it's a hot local wind. So in a Rocky Mountain, factual, you should know this. So statement 2 is right. So what about statement number 3? So valleys can experience katabatic wind, which are cold downslope winds that accelerate due to gravity. Does valley experience katabatic wind? Yes, valley experience katabatic wind. So again here, katabatic wind, the wind that is coming down. So that is called as your katabatic wind. So fine. So this is your katabatic wind. What's anabatic wind? The wind that is rising up the valley. So that is called as your anabatic wind. Should you memorize this? Yes, you have to memorize. These are the basic concepts that you should know. Fine. Okay. So chalo, then we'll go to the next one. So soil formation is a process. This is regarding the soil formation. Soil formation is a process influenced by the factors such as parent material, climate, organisms, topography, and time. Is it true? The soil formation is determined by the parent material? Yes, definitely. Soil formation is determined by the parent material. So this is your parent material, parent rock. What are the type of rock that is? Say for example, yesterday we took up the one example of black cotton soil, right? So black cotton soil, it is completely dependent on the parent rock. The parent rock is volcanic rock. So that is the reason why we have black colored soil. So again here, parent soil formation plays a very important, in soil formation, parent rock plays a super important role, because that's the most important one. And again here, climate. Does climate play important role? Yes. If there is a high precipitation, what happens? We have laterite soil. If there is a heavy rainfall, there is a leaching. So all leaching takes place. So if there is a leaching, then what would happen? So what the remaining soil that you get, that is called as your laterite soil. That is called as your laterite soil. And the next one is organism. Does organism affect the soil formation? Yes, all this the insects or all these earthworms, etc., they affect your top soil. This is your organic soil, the O layer. So if you see the soil profile, this O, A, B, C and D. So D is your parent rock. So this is your parent rock. This is O, A, B. Yeah, this is topsoil divided into B. This is C, this is D. D is your parent rock. So again here there is O layer, that organic layer, the top layer, your organisms influence the top layer. So statement 1 is absolutely right. So what about your statement number 2? Weathering of rocks and minerals is a key process in the soil formation. Is it true? Yes. How does your soil form? So when there's a weathering of rock, and this weathered material, the eroded material, will go and deposit in a region. So that is how you get your soil, right? That is the formation of soil. It is not that all of a sudden we get soil from lava or anything like that. The rocks has to weather. The tiny weathered particles are nothing but your soil, and it takes millions and millions of years for a rock to weather and convert into a soil. Fine. So statement number 2 is also right. So what about statement number 3? So statement number 3, the soil formation occurs rapidly and can be completed within a year. No, soil formation takes millions and millions of years, because the rock has to weather. And the tiny particles has to get deposited. So that takes millions and millions of years. That's the reason why we are taking a lot of efforts to stop soil erosion, because the formation of soil has taken millions of years. So now we don't want to lose that soil. So soil erosion, that's the reason why we have to stop soil erosion. So this statement is wrong. So both statements are right. So two statements are right. If two statements are right, so answer has to be B. Fine. So we'll go to the next one. Which of the following statement about the plate tectonics are correct? So which of the following statement about the plate tectonics are correct? The first one is the Earth's lithosphere are divided into several large and small plates. Basics of plate tectonics, factual. Yes, the Earth's plates are divided into several, that is Earth's lithosphere plate is divided into several large, that is major and minor plates. We can call it as large and small. Technical words, it's called as major and minor plates. Say be it your Indian plate, African plate. So these are your major plates. So statement 1 is absolutely right. So if you see this image, so these are the major plates: African plate, Indian plate. So these are the major plates, say Eurasian plates. So these are the major plates. Fine. So statement number 1 is absolutely right. So what about statement number 2? The plate movements are responsible for earthquake and volcanic activity. So is it true? Yes, this is what you would have learned in your continental drift theory, right? So whenever we have plate movement, so it is responsible for earthquake and earthquake and volcanic activity. So what happens? See here. So when there's a subduction zone in the, say this is plate 1, this is plate 2. In the subduction zone, what happens? Say ocean convergence. So oceanic plate and oceanic plate, when it collides, what happens? Convergence zone. One oceanic plate would go down. If this oceanic plate goes down, it will melt and we'll have molten over here, molten lava. See, if it goes down, it will melt and we have volcanic eruption over here. And again here, so if it's a convergence zone, continental on land, that is continent convergence zone, what will happen? Will it subside? No, continental plate will not subside because the density of continental plate is less, so it will not subside. So what will it do? It will crush each other and it will rise up. So that is your Himalayan mountains. So continental plate, that is your Indian plate, is crushing the European plate. So there is earthquake occurs. So statement number 2 is also absolutely right. So what about your statement number 3? So statement number 3 is the movement of plates is primarily caused by the gravitational, it is primarily caused by the gravitational force. where it is gravitational force? No, the plate movement is not by gravitational force. Then what is the agent that leads to the movement of plates? It is a convectional current, or say the convectional cell. So here you will have this convectional cell, right? The convection cell, and in your below your asthenosphere, in the mantle zone, you will have convection cell, right? So it is a convection cell that will either pull the plate tectonic plates, or say tectonic plates, or it push the plate tectonic plates. So not your gravitational force. So statement 1 and statement 2 are right. So the answer is B. So B is the answer. Okay, fine. Consider the following statement about the biodiversity hotspot. So again, now we are moving towards your environment geography topic. So biodiversity hotspots are identified based on and by the way, who gave the concept of biodiversity hotspot? Who gave? So previous year question, biodiversity hotspot. Previous year question, who gave the concept of biodiversity hotspot? So the concept of biodiversity hotspot was given by Conservation International, CI. So CI gave the concept of biodiversity hotspot. So statement number 1, biodiversity hotspots are identified based on the number of endemic species and the level of threat they face. Is it true? That's the definition. Yeah, that's the definition. How many endemic species? So based on the number of endemic species, 1500 endemic species. If any region has to be declared as a biodiversity hotspot, that region should have at least 1500 endemic species, and it should have a severe that is a high level of threat that they face. I think it is 70%. I'm not sure. Yeah, it is 70%. 70% of the original habitat should be destroyed, and that region should have at least 1500 endemic plants, not just species. If we have to be more specific, it is endemic plants, 1500 endemic plants, and 70% of the original habitat should be destroyed. So that region can be considered as your biodiversity hotspot. So statement 1 is absolutely right. So what about statement number 2? Okay, the Western Ghats in India is one of the biodiversity hotspots recognized globally. Is Western Ghats a biodiversity hotspot? Yes, it's the biodiversity hotspot. So statement number 3, so option number 3, C is right. So apart from Western Ghats, how many biodiversity hotspots are there? How many biodiversity hotspots are there? So in the world, there are 36 biodiversity hotspots. But what about in India? How many biodiversity hotspots are there? So there are 4 biodiversity hotspots that are there in India. So that is your Himalayan region, your Indo-Burma region, and this is your Western Ghats. The question was based on this one. And next one, this Andaman region, the Nicobar part, we call it as Sundaland. So there are 4 biodiversity hotspots in India. Fine. Okay. So chalo, then we'll go to the next one. Which one of the following statement about the heat budget of the Earth is correct? Okay, this is regarding the heat budget. Okay, which one of the following statement about the heat budget of the Earth is correct? The heat re-radiated in the sense, from the sun, the heat comes, the solar insolation strikes the land and then re-radiates. The radiation of the sun striking the land and radiating it back. So that is called as your re-radiated. The heat re-radiated from the Earth has longer wavelength compared to the solar radiation it receives. Is it true? Yes, this is your long waves. This is your long waves, and the waves that comes from your solar, that is sun, that is called as your short waves. These are short wavelength. So this is your long wavelength. So this is a short wave. This is your long waves. Okay, fine. So factual, you should know this. So statement number 1 is absolutely right. So what about statement number 2? The heat budget of India, heat budget of the Earth is balanced with the amount with equal amount of heat gained and lost. Is it true? Is the heat budget of Earth is balanced with equal amount of heat gained and lost, that is the heat lost. That is what is called as your heat budget. So heat budget means amount of heat that is trapped by the Earth and the amount of heat that later on the Earth releases it back. So that is your heat budget. So statement number 2 is right. So what about statement number 3? So the greenhouse gas the greenhouse effect plays significant role in regulating the Earth's heat budget. Yes, it is the greenhouse gas that traps the solar insolation. So there is a greenhouse gas that traps the solar insolation. If it is not if we do not have greenhouse gas, what would happen? Whatever the solar insolation, say let us consider the 100 units of solar insolation that strikes the Earth, and it would again get re-radiated back. All the 100 units of 100 units of solar insolation would get re-radiated back. But however, it is because of the greenhouse gas, because of say carbon dioxide, etc., it gets trapped in the atmosphere. So now you don't have sun, right? So now by the time you will be watching this video, you will not have sun. So, but still you will not have the temperature is not in negative, but the temperature will be somewhere around 25-30 because it's summer. So how do you have this 25-30 degrees Celsius without sun? Because the heat that has been trapped by the greenhouse gas. So this is called as a greenhouse effect. So that has a major that has an impact on your budget, the Earth's heat budget. So statement number 3 is also right. So the answer is C. So C is the answer. Fine, chalo, good. So we'll go to the next question. So interesting question. Which of the following statement regarding the mangroves are correct? So statement number 1, so mangroves are salt tolerant trees and shrubs found in the coastal area. Is mangrove a salt tolerant tree? So what do you call a salt tolerant tree or plant as? Just think, put it in the comment box. So what do you call salt tolerant plant as? Is mangrove a salt tolerant plant? So yes, mangrove is a salt tolerant tree, shrubs found in the coastal area. So because it is in the intertidal zone. So this mangroves is in the intertidal zone. Intertidal zone. So intertidal zone means it is a zone between your high tide line and low tide line, HTL and LTL. So that is your intertidal zone. So mangroves are usually found in your intertidal zone. So since it has to get exposed to the saline water for more than 12 hours in a day, so it is salt tolerant. So salt tolerant means halophytes. So mangroves is a halophyte. So statement 1 is right. So what What about statement number 2? Mangroves help in reducing coastal erosion and provide a natural barrier against storms and tsunamis. Does mangrove help in reducing coastal erosion and provide a natural barrier against storms and tsunami? Yes. If you see this image, this is your mangroves. The mangroves roots will bind the coastal soil. If the mangroves roots will bind the coastal soil, despite strong waves, what will happen? It will not lead to coastal soil erosion. That is one thing. And second one is, if there's a strong tsunamis or a strong waves that comes and strikes the mangroves, it is going to block the tsunami wave. Not completely block, it will act as a wave breaker. Mangroves are known to act as a wave breaker, so it will break the wave. So the waves will have huge amount of energy, it will break the wave, so the destruction would be less because of tsunami waves. So if we have mangroves, so because mangroves act as a wave breaker, so yes, this statement is also right. So what about statement number 3? Yes, Sundarbans, located in West Bengal, is the largest mangrove forest in the world. Yes, this is absolutely true, and it is the heritage. It's an heritage site as well. That is Sundarbans, located in the West Bengal. So, largest mangrove forest. So you should know. This is a factual one. You should know this. So answer is D is the answer. So very easy one. So we'll go to the next question. Consider the following statement about floods. So consider the following statement about floods. So they are caused solely by heavy rainfall exceeding the carrying capacity of the river. Okay, does flood is only caused by heavy rainfall? So the statement says that they are caused solely by, caused only by heavy rainfall. Who told? If there is a cyclone, if there is a tsunami, we get floods. If there is a damage to dam, or say if the dam collapses, we have floods. So if the drainage system is not proper, we have floods. So it is not solely heavy rainfall. Heavy rainfall definitely is one of the cause, or say one of the predominant cause. But however, we cannot tell it as a solely. It is solely. Even tsunami also causes floods. A glacial lake outburst flood. So that also GLOF. That also causes floods. So this statement is wrong. So this statement, if this statement is wrong, so the answer is directly D. So from last year we are getting this type of options. So again, last year there was too much halabulla saying that the new variety of options, but this option is quite easy to get the answer. You remove one statement, you are directly getting the option answer itself. But however, we'll see land use changes like encroachment on floodplains exacerbate floods, or say increase flood impacts. Yes, when we encroach the floodplains is the one that is going to act like a sponge, right? The floodplains means, if this is your river, the surrounding regions we call it as floodplains. So this has sand. So the floodplains has sand. So if there's excess water in the river, this water will go to this floodplains. And floodplains has sand. The sand acts as your sponge. If there's excess water in the river, it will go to the floodplains, and thus floodplains will absorb. Now what we do is, we mine all this sand, we take it for construction purpose, and we construct what is that, apartments, we construct industries near the floodplains. What would happen? So where will the excess water go? It will cause flooding. So again here, this statement is right. So fine. Okay, we'll go to the next question. So the next question is, consider the following statement regarding the soil erosion. So consider the following statement regarding soil erosion. Soil erosion can be natural factor such as wind. So soil erosion can be caused by natural factors such as wind, water, as well as human activities like deforestation and improper farming practices. So it's a lengthy statement, just we'll revisit it again. Soil erosion can be caused by natural factors such as wind and water. So we'll go part by part. Is it true? Is this statement true? Soil erosion can be caused by natural factors like wind and water. Yeah, if there's a strong wind, if we have a strong stream of water, we will have soil erosion. Say all this bandline topography, all this rills, ravines. How is it formed? It is formed through strong. That is, it's formed through your strong water. That is strong stream of water. And all this alien erosion, so that is formed through your wind. So statement 1 is absolutely right. So now what about your this part, that is as well as human activities like deforestation and improper farming practices. How come deforestation will lead to soil erosion? Can someone think how come deforestation leads to soil erosion? Deforestation, it was the tree that was binding the soil. The tree roots were binding the soil. Now because of deforestation there is no forest. Now who is going to bind the soil? No one. Gradually this soil will get washed away. So deforestation and improper farming practices. So improper farming practice in the sense excessive irrigation, flood irrigation, etc. That will also lead to soil erosion. So statement number 1 is absolutely right. So what about your statement number 2? The soil erosion can lead to reduced fertility. How does soil erosion lead to reduced fertility? So what is the definition of soil erosion? By the way, I thought you know it properly. So what is the definition of soil erosion? Definition of soil erosion is erosion of top layer of the soil. So that is the definition of soil erosion. When the top layer of the soil gets eroded, that is your soil erosion. And where is the fertility? Which section of the soil has highest fertility? So we saw the soil profile, right? So which section, where is the soil profile? Yeah. So which section of the soil profile has high fertility? Which section of the soil profile has high fertility? So it is your top layer, the top soil. So up to top soil, up to this, we have high fertility. So what happens when the topsoil gets eroded? That is called as your soil erosion. So when the topsoil has high fertility, when due to soil erosion, all the fertility will get washed away. Then this region, this part, say this part of the soil will not have fertility. So will not have adequate nutrient. It's not fertile soil. It doesn't have adequate nutrient. So as a reason, it's not going to support the. It will not support the plants and trees. So again here. So statement number statement number 2. So this is right. That is soil erosion leads to reduced soil fertility because the topsoil gets washed away. Sedimentation in the water body, where it will get washed away. It will get washed away and go on sediment and get sedimented in the water body. And increased vulnerability to landslides and floods. Yeah, this statement is right. So statement 1 and statement 2 are right. Now we have to decide between option A and B. Option A says that both statement 1 and 2 are right, and statement 2 is a correct explanation for statement 1. Does statement 2 explain statement 1, or they don't have any relation but both are true? What do you think? They do not have any relation. See here, this is a different statement. It is a fact. It tells that soil erosion causes reduced soil fertility. This statement 1 is another fact. It says that soil erosion is can be through natural process or anthropogenic process. What is the relation between statement 1 and statement 2? Both are 100% right, but there is no relation or say no explanation as such. So the answer has to be, what's the answer? So the answer has to be B for Bangalore. B is the answer, right? Okay, so we'll go to the next one. So next one is deforestation. Okay, next statement is statement number 1. So that is your deforestation is a major cause for soil erosion in hilly areas. Is it true? Thus deforestation is the major area for soil erosion, major cause for soil erosion in a hilly area. Yes, this is absolutely true. Deforestation is the major cause for soil erosion in hilly areas. What about statement number 2? That is deforestation exposes the soil to the direct impact of raindrops, leading to detachment and washing away of topsoil. So due to deforestation, the soil directly comes in contact with the rainwater. So if you see here, when I cut all these trees, what would happen? The soil over here will get directly in contact with the rain. So will directly come in contact with the rain. So as a reason, what will happen? Will be water erosion, or say sheet erosion, drill erosion, splash erosion, etc. That would easily take place. So statement number 2 is also right. That is, deforestation exposes the soil to the direct impact of raindrops, leading to the detachment and washing away of topsoil. So statement number 2 is right. So statement number 1 is also right. Deforestation is a major cause for soil erosion in hilly areas. Fine. So statement 1 and 2 is right. So the answer has to be, now we have to select between A and B. So does statement 1 and 2, is there any relation? No relation, no explanation as such, right? That is, your statement 2 doesn't explain statement 1. Both are facts, both are exact right facts. Does statement 2 explain statement 1? No, it doesn't. So, but both are right. So the answer has to be B. B is the answer. Fine. So chala, then B is the answer. So now we'll go to the next question. So the next question is, among the following crops, which one is the most important anthropogenic source for methane and nitrous oxide? So which among the crop is the important source for the methane generation and nitrous, that is your nitrous oxide generation? Which crop? Is it cotton crop or rice, sugarcane, paddy? So what is the source for methane generation? What is the source for methane generation? When there is anaerobic condition in the sense when the land is not in contact with atmospheric air. So when it doesn't have adequate oxygen contact, we will have anaerobic condition. During anaerobic condition, so methane are generated. So even nitrous oxide is generated in anaerobic condition. Which crops will have anaerobic condition? Which crops will have anaerobic condition? So it is your rice, paddy. If you see paddy field, it is completely under water. It is cultivated through flood irrigation. It is submerged under water. So this is your paddy field. So here anaerobic condition when there is a water inundation. So assume that this is a land and there is water over here. This land will not have contact with the atmospheric oxygen. There's an anaerobic condition. Whenever there's an anaerobic condition, you have this generation of methane. So it is paddy. So answer is rice. Rice is the answer. Okay, so the next question: in the case of which of the following biogeochemical cycle, the weathering of rocks is the main source for the release of nutrient to enter into the cycle? Okay, which in the case of which of the following biogeochemical cycle, the weathering of rocks is the main source for release of nutrients to the to enter into the cycle? So which one? So which cycle? So again here biogeochemical cycle, there are two types of biogeochemical cycle. That is, one is here a gaseous cycle and the next one is a sedimentary cycle. So sedimentary cycle, the source for sedimentary cycle is always is mainly continental rocks. So again here in the case of which of the following biogeochemical cycle, weathering of rocks is the main source for release of nutrient to enter into the cycle. So again here, the main source for the main source for release of nutrient to enter into the cycle is your phosphorus. See, in phosphorus cycle, your nitrogen and carbon cycle, these are your gaseous cycle. But phosphorus and sulfur cycle, these are your sedimentary cycle. But however, phosphorus is the phosphorus biogeochemical cycle, or say phosphorus cycle. In phosphorus cycle, the origin point is rock, because rock has phosphorus or phosphate. So from there the phosphate emerges. So this is your biogeochemical cycle. This is your phosphorus cycle. It originates from the rock. So phosphorus cycle originates from the rock. So again here the main source for nutrient release of phosphorus or say phosphate is rock. But what is the main source for release of sulfur? So by the way, what is biogeochemical cycle? Biogeochemical cycle. Biogeochemical cycle means it is a circulation of chemical between your biotic component and abiotic component. Biotic component means all your animals, so circulation of chemicals going to your animals and then coming to your abiotic component. Abiotic component are land, water, atmosphere, etc. So that is called as your biogeochemical cycle. So biotic component, geo is nothing but your abiotic component, land, that is land, water, atmosphere. So circulation of chemical in between your biotic and abiotic component, that is called as your biogeochemical cycle. And in phosphorus, for the important source, main source for the release of nutrient is rock. But for sulfur, what is the main source? It is volcanic eruption. For sulfur, it is volcanic eruption. So here answer is C. Fine. Okay. We'll take up the next question. So the next question is, consider statement 1. Okay, most major deserts are located around the tropics, that is 15 degrees to 30 degrees latitude. Is it true? Does majority of the deserts are found in this latitude, that is 15 to 30 degree latitude? Is it true? Yes, if you see the map, it is true. The majority of the desert is located in this latitude, say between say 15 to 30 degree. So between this 15 to 30 degree, majority of the deserts are located. So in this 15 to 30 degree, majority of the deserts are located in this latitude. But what is the reason? Why majority of the deserts are located in this latitude, say 15 to 30 degree, north and south, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere? Why? What's so special? Any vastu or something like that? What is so special? Why the deserts occur? Why a lot of deserts occur in this region, 15 degrees to 30 degrees, north and south latitude? What's the reason? The reason is simple. Descending of air. When the air descends, what did we learn earlier? When the air ascends, what happens? We will have condensation and we'll have rainfall. When the air ascends, see here, ascending of the air. When the air rises up, the moisture in the air condenses and we will have rainfall. When the air descends, what will happen? We will not have rainfall. We will have a calm weather, no rainfall. When the air descends, there is no rainfall. So in this condition, we will have hot, dry air, dry region. So here, what happens is that whenever the air descends, there is no rainfall. We will have hot, dry condition. So in this region, that is between say 15 to 30 degrees, north and south, we will have this descending of air. When you read this tricellular model, so what happens? Tricellular model, the air that rises from the equator, see here, this is the air that rises from the equator, goes towards the northern. See, this is your north pole, this is your north pole, this is equator. On this side we have south pole. So from equator, one wind goes towards your north pole and it doesn't go go completely to the north pole. Say around say 30 degrees, it descends. So wherever this air descends, that region we will have we'll have this desert condition. So this is equivalent here. So you see here, all these regions are found here. This equator is this part. So this equator region, so this is this one. So this one point. Fine. So statement number 2. So subtropical high pressure belt creates dry conditions with minimal rainfall. Is it true? Subtropical high pressure. So this is your subtropical region. When the air is descending, what will happen? We'll have more pressure over it, right? When the air keeps descending, the pressure keeps increasing. So that is your subtropical high pressure. So subtropical high pressure dry conditions creates dry condition with minimal rainfall in this region. So statement number 2 is right. Statement number 1 is right. So does statement number 2 explain statement number 1? Does statement number 2 explain statement number 1? Yes, it does explain, because the subtropical high pressure belt creates dry condition. Dry condition is nothing but desert. Cool, it is fine, right? So statement number 2 explains statement number 1. So both statement 1 and 2 are right. So the answer has to be, what has to be the answer? A is the answer. Good, all fine, yeah, excellent. Okay, so we'll take up the next question. So the next question is, why is there a great concern about microbeads that are released into the environment? Too much in news. Plastic is too much in news. Why is there a great concern about the microbeads that are released into the atmosphere? So in the atmosphere, because too much in use, because it gets accumulated in the marine organisms, so it gets accumulated in or other species as well. So what do you call this process as? What do you call this process as? Bioaccumulation. That is, the plastic beads, the microbeads are the tiny plastic beads, it gets accumulated in your in the organism's body, so that is called as a bioaccumulation. And this microbeads has created a lot of issue in the marine environment or say marine ecosystem. So the answer is statement number 1. So yeah, it has nothing to do with your food adulterants, etc. Yeah. So yeah, so this is your plastic, and this plastic gets disintegrated into tiny particles. So if you drop this is a plastic, let us consider this is a plastic. If I dump it in the ocean, so what will happen after say 20 years, 30 years, 50 years? This will get disintegrated into tiny microplastics, and this microplastics or some microbeads would be consumed by this animal. So this would accumulate in the plastics. So that is called as your bioaccumulation. Fine. Okay, so we'll take up the next question, that is regarding the rock cycle. So again, rock cycle quite important from your prelims perspective. So statement 1: sedimentary rocks are formed through the process of deposition, compaction, and cementation. Is it true? Does sedimentary rock is formed through the process of deposition, compaction, and cementation, or sedimentary rock is formed through volcanic eruption? Which one? Sedimentary rock are formed through the deposition, compaction, and cementation. So this statement is right. If you see here, this is the sedimentary rock. So from igneous rock, from all other rocks, there would be erosion. This eroded material would go and deposit. So that is, first there would be deposition, and yeah, if you see here, first there would be deposition. Yeah, again here, first there would be deposition, and next what happened, there would be compaction over this deposited layer. One more layer would come and deposit, another layer would come and deposit, so it will get compacted. So it will get compacted. So if it gets compacted over a period of time, cementation means binding, properly binding. So that is called as your cementation. So again here, so that's a process. Statement number 1 is absolutely right. The sedimentary rocks are formed through the process of deposition, compaction, and cementation. Statement 2 is right. Statement 1 is right. What about statement number 2? Metamorphic rock are formed from the cooling and solidification of molten magma. Is that the way metamorphic rocks are formed? No, yeah. This is your igneous rock. Igneous rocks are formed from cooling and solidification of molten magma, not your metamorphic rock. Then how is metamorphic rock formed? High pressure. When any rock is introduced to high pressure and temperature, we get metamorphic rock. So when you introduce high pressure to sedimentary rock or igneous rock, we get metamorphic rock. But the statement is wrong. So statement number 2 is wrong. If statement number 2 is wrong, we get D. So we automatically get D as the answer. Fine. Okay, so chalo then. We'll take up the next question. So the next question is regarding the map work. Consider the following statement: Amarkantak hills are located are at the confluence of Vindhyas and Sahyadris. What do you think? Is it at the confluence of Vindhyas and Sahyadris? By the way, what is Sahyadri? So which mountain range is known as Sahyadri? It's your Western Ghats. It's your Western Ghats. Western Ghats is known as Sahyadri in your say Maharashtra, Gujarat region. So we call it as Sahyadris. So Amarkantak hills are at the confluence of Vindhyas and Sahyadris. So is this right, wrong? What do you think? This is wrong. Amarkantak is at the confluence of not your Sahyadris, man. So it is at the confluence of Vindhyas and Satpuras. Your Amarkantak is somewhere over here. So this is where you get Amarkantak. So statement number 1 is wrong. So Biligiri Rangan Hills, or say we call it as BR Hills, Biligiri Rangan Hills constitute the easternmost part of Satpura range. Biligiri Rangan Hills is not in Satpura range. It is in Western Ghats. So it is somewhere over here. This is where you get Biligiri Rangan Hills, BR Hills. So statement number 2 is also wrong. What about statement number 3? Sheshachalam Hills constitute the southernmost part of Eastern Ghats. Sheshachalam Hills is in Eastern Ghats, not in Western Ghats. So this statement is also wrong. So the answer is D, none of the above. Delhi, none of the above. Fine. Okay, so next one is consider the following statement. So statement number 1. So the soil in tropical rainforest is rich in nutrient. So what do you think? The soil in tropical rainforest is it rich in nutrient? So if it has to be rich in nutrient, which part of the soil has more nutrient? Is it the top soil, or say B layer, or C layer, or D layer? Which soil, if you divide this, it is OA, B, C, D. E is elevation layer, not needed for GS students. Forget this at the optional level. So OA, B, C, D. So which layer has high nutrients? So it is a topsoil, that is your OA. So this is your OA region has O and A has high amount of nutrient. So now read statement number 1. The soil in the tropical rainforest has rich in nutrients. In tropical rainforest, every day there is rainfall because it's in a tropical rainforest is an equatorial region. Every day afternoon there is a thunderstorm. Yesterday we discussed this topic. Every day afternoon there is thunderstorm and there is rainfall. So if there is rainfall every day, what happens? There would be erosion of this layer. The top soil, the nutrient in the top soil would get eroded completely. So in a equatorial forest, the top soil is not it doesn't have adequate nutrient. It's not very fertile. So the top soil is not very fertile. So statement number 1 is absolutely wrong. That is, the top soil in the tropical rainforest is rich in nutrient. No, it is not. It is not rich in nutrient. So statement number 2 or 1 is absolutely wrong. If it's absolutely wrong, we already get the answer. But however, we'll see what is there in statement number 2. The high temperature and moisture of tropical rainforest causes dead organisms in the soil to decompose quickly. Yes, when the temperature is high, it's going to decompose the organic matter, right? When you keep so now it's the summer times. When you keep any food outside in the afternoon, so within few hours it gets spoiled because the decomposition is very high in high temperatures. So this statement is right. So the answer is Delhi. D is the answer. Fine. Okay, so now we'll take up the last question of the day. In the northern hemisphere, the longest day of the year normally occurs when? When does the longest day occur in the northern hemisphere? It is also declared as the International Yoga Day. So when? So when is it? So is it in the first half of the June month, or say first half or second half of June month, or say first half of July, or say second half of July? So what do you think? What do you think? Is it June or July? So June or July. When is the International Yoga Day? When is International Yoga Day? June 21st. So June 21st. So the answer is second half of the month. So that is your June. So yeah. So the answer is B. B is the answer. Fine. So fine. So this is the end of the session. So I think we have one more session regarding geography. So we'll take up the remaining part, the remaining questions, and I hope all the questions were quite useful. Revise these questions. We have covered almost every aspects of your physical geography. So revisit all these questions again. Try to solve it on your own. Again, focus on PYQ. PYQ will help you a lot. PYQ is the one that's going to help you a lot. So please focus on PYQ. Fine. So chalo then. So thank you guys. So thank you.